Okay, good morning class. So today we're going to look at the examples for exercise 7.10. So reading this section would have been the ratios in terms of meters. But you guys have finished it already, okay? You have done exercise 7.10 already, is that correct? Yes. So we'll discuss if there's any issues then. Exercise 7.10 is on page 240. However, the examples on page 240. Just remind me before the end of the lesson, I must give you a breakdown of your upcoming cycle test. Okay? Your trigs will be tested up until this point. Okay, that general solution that we went into yesterday will be done in your June exam. It won't be tested in the upcoming cycle test. Okay. So if sine of 28 is equal to p, write the following in terms of p. So if you get the sum here, people, importantly we start off by drawing this information. Which quadrant would this be in? Yes. In quadrant 1, how do you know it's quadrant 1? Is an acute angle, not so? So, if you want, you can draw it in quadrant 1. Or we can draw it without the quads. Why? Because it's not going to affect anything. Everything will be positive in quadrant 1. Not so? So what does sine stand for? So you look at sine 28. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So if this is your 28 degrees here, opposite is P, the hypotenuse is? So how do I calculate that side thing? Okay. So hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides squared. Let's call this x for now. Or let's call it adjacent. Okay.
Apologies for this interruption. Good morning, everybody. Educators, please note, we are going to deny learners access when they want to go to the ablution facilities after interval. There seems to be a rush to go to the girls' toilets after interval, which means that they are arriving late for your class. Please can we clamp down on learners arriving late in your class? Thank you.
Okay. So your adjacent side is going to be the square root of 1 minus p squared. Not so? What else can we determine at this point? Is the other angle as well. No? We go to the other angle as well. Now do we get that angle? We know it's going to be sum of triangles. So what is 180 minus 28 minus 90? Sorry? 60. 62. 62. So I can use 28 or 62, it doesn't matter. You see that, people? So let's go with number 1. They want tan of 28. Tan is opposite over adjacent. So it's p over the square root of 1 minus p squared. Can I take the square root of 1 minus p squared and say it's p 1 minus p? Why not? There's a minus between it. If there's a minus and plus between it, we can't take the individual squares there. Okay? Let's look at B. Cos of 62. Do we have a 62 degree angle? Yes. So now we're going to say cos. What does cos stand for? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's P over 1, which is? Otherwise you could have said this can be written as cos of 90 minus 28, which becomes sine of 28, and sine of 28 is opposite of hypotenuse, the same thing. You guys understand? Let's look at C. C, cos of 280. Is there 280 degree there? So what do? I reduce it to an acute angle first. Okay? So that, here we go, all stations to Claremont. This is 180 plus, as you can see, it's in the third quadrant. So it becomes cos of 208. So it becomes cos of 180 plus 288. Is cos positive or negative in this quadrant? It's negative. So it's negative cos 28. Okay, what does cos stand for? Jason. Remember, it's 28 degrees. If it was 62 degrees, I would have said that's your Jason. 28. Your Jason is 1 minus p, the root of 1 minus p squared over 1, which is 1 minus p squared. You guys understand? Is there any confusion? Okay, so let's go to the D and E part of the question. So D, sine of 388. People, this is over 360, so what do? Minus 360 is the same as sine of 28. Not so. Remember, if I add and subtract add or subtract 360 from an angle, I don't change the value of anything. Okay, so sine of 28, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's p over 1, which is p. Or I could have just written p. And then E, you have tan of negative 332. 332. What do? Plus 360, which gives me an answer of 30? Tan of 8 or 28. So hang on, tan is what? Opposite of adjacent, so it's going to be p over the square root of 1 minus. See any confusion there? Any questions? So you guys have done already exercise 7.10. Was there any problems with 7.10? Nobody? Zora? 3. Okay, let's do now. So we'll do number 3 as well. Which page was that on? Sorry? 245. So this is out of exercise 7.10, number 3. Okay. This is exercise. Alright. So, we are told that if sine of 72 is equal to p, write the following in terms of p. Write the following in terms of p. Where do I start? I started by saying sine of 72 is equal to p over 1. What does sine stand for? Opposite over hypotenuse. The previous one was also sine. Okay. I was hoping that it was cos or something else, but okay. Again, which quadrant would that be? First quadrant. So this is 90. This is 72. Sine is opposite, which is p over 1. How do I get the third side? Pythagoras. So 1 squared is equal to p squared plus your adjacent side squared. It says 1 minus p squared is equal to your adjacent side squared. Your adjacent will be the square root thereof. Okay. Then let's look at A. A is cos of 72 degrees. What is the size of this angle here? 18. Okay. So it's 180 minus 90 minus 72. So cos, what does cos stand for? Adjacent of hypotenuse, so it's the square root of 1 minus p squared over 1, which is the square root of 1 minus p squared. Okay. Let's look at B. Tan of 18. Now use the 18 degree angle. What does tan stand for? Opposite of adjacent. So it's going to be the square root of 1 minus p squared over. Let's look at C. Sine of 252. We ask ourselves in which quadrant is 252? Third quadrant. How do we get into the third quadrant? The sine of 180 plus 72. Third quadrant is sine positive or negative? Negative. So it's negative sine 72 degrees. So now it gives us sine 72. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's negative p over 1, which is negative. Guys understand? Let's look at E. So first D. So D is cos of 108. Which quadrant is 118? Quadrant 2. How do you get in quadrant 2? 180 minus 72. Not so. Is cos positive or negative in the second quadrant? Negative. So it's negative cos of 72. So you got the 72 degree angle. Cos is adjacent of hypotenuse. So it's negative square root of 1 minus p squared over 1, which is negative 1 minus the negative 1 square root of 1 minus p squared. You guys understand? Let's look at E. Okay. E is sine of 792. So what do I do to 792? Subtract 360. How many times? So subtract 360 twice, which gives the angle of sine of 72. You will agree with that? Sine is opposite of hypotenuse, which is p. You all agree with that? And then the last one, which is F. And this was the issue. Cos of negative 378. What do I do? You add 360, which is giving the answer of negative 80. Not so. You add 360 again, we get cos of 3. Sorry? 342. Which quadrant is 342? Fourth quadrant. How do we get the fourth quadrant? It's cos 360 minus 80. Cos positive and negative in this quadrant? Positive. Cos 80. Cos is, there's 18 degrees. Cos is adjacent of hypotenuse, which is, what I could have said, 90 minus, cos of 90 minus 72, which is cos of, or sine of 72. Which is then also P. Was there any confusion? Any confusion? Okay. So where did you go wrong? The wrong side. But you said the cos of 360 minus 18. Alright, so that brings us to the end of exercise 7.10.